Kiev Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has publicly expressed support for the newly announced ceasefire between the United States and Iran, while simultaneously urging Washington to leverage its diplomatic momentum to pressure Russia into ending its war on Ukrainian territory. Zelensky's statement, published by the Ukrainian news agency Oren, praised the ceasefire agreement in the Middle East as the right decision that could lead to an end to hostilities. The Ukrainian leader attributed the US-Iran truce to a shared respect for human life and a mutual rejection of the destruction of civilian infrastructure, specifically noting that neither side sought to target nuclear facilities or civilian cities in Iran. "They are willing to make peace with each other," Zelensky said, offering particular praise for President Donald Trump's choice of peace over continued warfare. A message to Washington. "Help us stop Russia." President Zelensky stressed that the United States has demonstrated it is capable of halting a war. He argued that the same diplomatic energy should now be directed toward ending Russia's invasion of Ukraine. "Russia's invasion of Ukraine is killing civilians, and this is the worst of it," Zelensky stated. He emphasized that Ukraine supports calm in the central and eastern regions and remains open to a diplomatic solution to the conflict. "We remind the United States to help maintain a ceasefire in our region," Zelensky continued. "If Russia stops its invasion of Ukraine, everything must stop. A ceasefire is possible, an agreement with reasonable conditions that Ukraine can accept." Zelensky also stressed that the role of the international community in ensuring security is essential. He noted that many countries are involved in the negotiation process and that the United States, having embraced diplomatic solutions in the Middle East, should now apply that approach to Ukraine. Ukrainian military cooperation in Central Asia. Meanwhile, military experts from Ukraine continue to cooperate in the Central Asian region to help stabilize the area. Ukraine has sent more than 200 drone experts to the region specifically to counter Iranian-made drones. President Zelensky recently returned from a visit to Central Asia, during which he signed several agreements with Gulf leaders to strengthen cooperation, particularly in the field of surveillance technology and counter-drone operations. Central Asian countries have reportedly sought Ukrainian intervention to help shoot down Iranian drones operating in the region. The Ukrainian military is currently conducting military exercises in the Middle East alongside local forces. While Ukraine's military is not deploying its own missiles, it is providing expertise to deter Iranian missile threats. President Zelensky added that the situation in the Middle East is critical for the entire world. He noted that the Caspian Sea and the Persian Gulf are among the world's most valuable assets, directly affecting the economic conditions and living standards of people in every nation. "Security must be guaranteed," Zelensky said. "It must benefit all nations. This must be assured after the war." A call for international action on maritime security. Zelensky also called for ensuring the safety of navigation in the Gulf region, which he believes must be transformed into a secure sea channel accessible to the entire world. He urged active and coordinated action by the international community to help Ukraine and Russia reach a ceasefire agreement, just as the United States achieved with Iran. The Ukrainian leader welcomed the US-Iran peace agreement, noting that it was signed by President Donald Trump on April 7. Under the terms of the deal, Iran accepted a peace offer from the United States, and the US accepted Iran's conditions. Crucially, Iran agreed to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, which had been a major obstacle in the negotiation process. At Iran's request, the United States agreed to a 14-day truce, described as a three-way peace involving Iran and Central Asian republics. The Iranian president has announced that the truce is valid only if the United States and relevant countries act in good faith. However, the Iranian president also declared that the Strait of Hormuz should remain under Iranian control, even as it reopens to traffic. According to multiple media outlets, direct negotiations between Iran and the United States are scheduled to take place on April 10 in Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. The US delegation will be led by Vice President Ivan. The state of the Russia-Ukraine war, entering year 5, the Russian-Ukrainian war has now entered its 5th year. Russia initially launched its full-scale invasion with hundreds of thousands of troops massed along Ukraine's border, supported by artillery, tanks, and thousands of fighter jets. Moscow's plan was to overthrow President Zelensky's regime in just 72 hours. That plan failed. Ukraine, with the immediate provision of weapons from Western allies, fought back effectively. Ukrainian forces destroyed hundreds of Russian tanks and quickly blocked the movement of Russian troops, preventing them from entering the capital, KYIV. Today, the fighting is concentrated in the east, south, and northeast of Ukraine. Russia has been attempting to capture the eastern regions of the country, but after 5 years of war, it has been unable to achieve a decisive breakthrough. Ukraine has not only defended its positions, but has also managed to expand its territory in some areas, pushing back Russian forces. Russian losses. Staggering numbers according to Ukrainian intelligence reports. Russian losses over the past 5 years have been catastrophic. Personnel, more than 1.03 million soldiers and reconnaissance troops killed equipment. Nearly 70,000 pieces of military support equipment destroyed aircraft. More than 430 planes shot down helicopters. More than 320 helicopters shot down military vehicles. Nearly 90,000 lost. Additionally, many Russian air defense systems, including the latest F-5O systems, have been destroyed, in some cases by Russia's own missiles. A war of attrition, the war between Russia and Ukraine, is currently at a stalemate, though Russia maintains a quantitative advantage in the number of missiles it can fire into Ukraine. However, Russia is not strong enough to decisively defeat Ukraine, and Ukraine retains the ability to strike deep into Russian territory. Ukraine has demonstrated the capability to launch hundreds of missiles at a time against Russian targets, including strikes on Moscow. The latest reports indicate that fierce battles are underway in the Black Sea region, where Russian naval bases and transport ships have come under attack. Ukrainian naval and air forces are conducting powerful, effective strikes against Russian positions from long distances. Much of Russia's energy infrastructure, including nuclear power plants, has been hit. Over the past 5 years of war, Russia has lost approximately 30% of its raw material production capacity. The Russian economy is currently in deep decline. Ukraine's resilience for its part. Ukraine continues to endure relentless Russian missile and artillery bombardment. The Ukrainian capital and other regions where Russian troops and artillery are heavily deployed face near-daily attacks. But despite this pressure, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, widely regarded as a war hero who has never given up the fight to defend his homeland, remains determined to lead his country against the Russian superpower. His message is clear. Ukraine will continue to fight until Russia agrees to withdraw from its territory.